Hi, everybody. Welcome to your everyday math lesson for lesson 7.5. So today we're going to do something a little somewhat challenging depending on how experienced you are with shapes and geometry. And so there are a few things that I want you to really think about today. I'm going to give you vocabulary. Make sure you pay attention to what the words mean. I'm going to give you a lot of information, so take notes if you need to. And thirdly, we're going to work with triangles today, but tomorrow we will be working with rectangles and other quadrilaterals that do the same thing. So before we do anything else today, we're going to start by looking at a few shapes and talking about a few things. So the first thing that we're going to talk is about a big, giant word called a hierarchy. A hierarchy is basically a way to describe a group of things, a group of shapes, but it's a way to classify them and order them. Okay, so if I think about our classroom or our students and our teacher and all that stuff, right? I could say that we all are in Franklin Township, right? One of us is a teacher, the rest are students. All of us are working on math. Some of my students were from Kitley and some were from Edgewood. Some are fourth grade reach, some are fifth grade, some are sixth grade. So it's a way to classify students, or for us, I just used it with our students, but you also can use it to classify shapes and other things. So we are going to do that today. What you can notice about my shapes here is I have a few little symbols that we're going to talk about. So first, let's think about our math boxes for 7.4. We talked about a vertice or vertex. That means the point. So whenever you get to a corner, that is called a vertex or vertice, okay? Also notice, like on this one, I have little tick marks. Notice they all have one line. But on this one, I have one that has one line, one that has two lines, and one that has three lines. This is a way that helps people understand which lengths, the lengths of the sides of a triangle. So on this one, this means that this length and this length and this length are all the same. Over here, it means that this is one measurement, this is a different measurement, and this is even a different measurement. So when you look at those tick marks, if they're the same, that means it's the same. If they're different, it means they're different. So this one, two sides are the same. Two sides are the same. Three sides are the same. That's what that means. The next thing you're going to notice is this little picture, little square right here in the corner. Does anybody know what that symbol means? When you see that symbol, what does it mean? And so again, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So here's my here's my triangle. I'm talking about the symbol right there. When I do that, what does that mean? That means that it's a right angle. Okay, so it's a corner. It's exactly 90 degrees. All right, let's look at these triangles we got here. We are going to separate them. We're going to classify them. We're going to put them together in a certain way, shape, or form. Let's see which ones are alike. Okay, I see that this one has a right angle and that one has a right angle. And that one has a right angle. Okay. Oh, so does this one. Awesome. Now I see that this one has two sides the same. That one has two sides the same. That one has three sides the same. Three sides the same. And all of these look like the sides are all different lengths. That's kind of how it looks to me. So that is one way that I sorted my triangles. You have this page attached. See if you can find a different way to sort them. All right. Now, we're going to take these triangles and we're going to use them in a minute. We're not going to use them right this second, but we are going to use them in a minute. We are going to talk about the different kinds of triangles that there are. So let's think this through. All right. Well, first of all, every single one of those shapes are called a triangle. So that is the first label that would apply to each and every one of those shapes. Okay? Now, we did see some of those triangles that had numbers that are, sides that have two sides that are alike. If a triangle has two sides that are alike, it is called an isosceles. I'm going to look at my spelling because I always spell this wrong. C-E-L-E-I-E-S. Isosceles. Oh, I lied. E-L-E-S. That should be an S. There you go. An isosceles triangle. So two sides the same. So if two side lengths are the same. So here is my example of an isosceles triangle. It's one that looks like, hold that thought, this. Notice that this length right here and this length right here are the same. That picture would go there. This one, two side lengths are the same. Now, are they still triangles? Absolutely. But they're also isosceles. So this goes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I know my class worked on comparing different shapes, and it says a rectangle is always a blank, or a blank is always a rectangle. This is one of those times. An isosceles triangle is always a triangle, but a triangle is sometimes isosceles, because this one is a triangle, but is it isosceles? No. So this is where it just can get a little bit tricky. The easiest thing to do is think about it as an order, okay? A triangle sometimes can be isosceles. And now let's go to the next step. What happens if I have three sides the same? Three sides the same. So we have no sides the same, triangle. Two sides the same, isosceles. Weird long word, right? Three sides the same is an equilateral. So E-Q-U-I-L-A-T-E-R-A-L, equilateral triangle. And the way that you can remember this is because all sides are the same, so it is equal. All sides are the same, so it says equal. Got it? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of these on my paper. I'm going to organize them a little bit with you, and we're going to see where they would qualify. Okay, so let's start with this. This absolutely is a triangle. Does it have two sides that are the same? Nope. So it's only a triangle. What about this one? It's a triangle. Are there two sides that are the same? So it could be isosceles, but are there three sides the same? So this is an equilateral. So basically, it's like when you rename shapes. When you rename a square, you could say a square is also a rectangle, and it's also a quadrilateral. It's also a parallelogram. It's giving it more names, right? So this triangle right here is equilateral and isosceles and a triangle. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these on my chart, and I'm going to show you a picture of this completed chart in a little bit. I'm going to actually have one attached to your lesson for the day, and we're going to use this idea to work through page number 247. So open your workbook to page 247 and get ready to answer some questions. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to start right here. Now, the first thing I want you guys to think about too is a kind of descriptor. So if I look at these triangles, what you're going to think about is the word attribute. So if I ask you what is an attribute, or what is something that you notice, that is what I mean. An attribute is some kind of characteristic. So an attribute of Miss Gilman is I have dark hair. One of my physical attributes, I have glasses, right? So let's think about this and let's talk through these triangle categories. So my first category that I saw, besides triangle, because I did see triangle, but I saw isosceles. So I'm going to use that one. Could you use triangle? Yeah, but I'm going to use isosceles. ISOSCELES, isosceles triangle. So if that's my main category, my subcategory is what goes below it. So isosceles has to have 2 equal sides. What category has to have 3 equal sides? The 3 equal sides would be the equilateral, EQUILATERAL. So it says first, draw an isosceles. Okay, I know it has to have 2 equal sides. So that's an isosceles. And I'm going to show that it's isosceles because I put my tick marks. Okay, B, it says draw a triangle that is not isosceles. Okay, so this time I'm going to make one a short side. So this is one length, this is another length, and this is a third length. This proves to me that it's not isosceles. Okay, draw an equilateral triangle. Boop, boop, boop. Is my equilateral triangle also an isosceles? Yes or no? It is. The reason why it is because at least 2 sides are the same. Another way that you could put this, and this is a sample that they said, is because it is a subcategory, all equilateral are also isosceles. So all equilateral are also isosceles. Period. Done. All right, in each statement below, replace the underlying category with a different category from the triangle hierarchy so that the new statement is true. Okay, so all triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay, what other category? So we have triangle, isosceles, and equilateral. What other word could I put in there? All blank have 3 sides and 3 angles. Maybe this time I'm going to say all isosceles. Triangles. Done. All isosceles triangles have at least 2 sides that are the same length. Okay, which other one has 2 sides that are the same length? Which one do you think would go in number 4B? The equilateral has to have at least 2 sides. It says all isosceles triangles have a line of symmetry. True. So if I take an isosceles triangle, I can do this and it's a line of symmetry. What other triangle has to have a line of symmetry? What word would you put for number 4C? I forgot to put my word triangle. All right, an isosceles does, but so does an equilateral. Equilateral. It says, look at your answer for problem 4. Describe any patterns that you see. So you could say equilateral fits everything. That's an option. You could say you always filled it out with something that's a subcategory below it. So if this is triangle, I can use anything below it. This is isosceles, I can use anything below it. This is isosceles, I can use anything below it. Okay? I want you to tell me in your own words. Go ahead and put it on your assignment page right now. I'm sorry, put it in this answer box. What is one thing that you noticed about the categories, subcategories, or number 4 patterns that you saw? Have a great day, guys. See you later.